Hello and welcome to this Wednesday edition of the World Report with me, Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. Let's take a look at what's making headlines around the world. Tahawwur Rana, the Pakistani origin man accused in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, is being flown to India, in fact, on a special aircraft after exhausting all legal options in the US. NDTV sources have exclusively said that the plane is scheduled to land in India either Wednesday late evening or early Thursday morning, with a refueling stop en route. Now, Rana's last-ditch attempt to in fact block his extradition was rejected by the US Supreme Court just days ago. He had cited multiple health conditions and he had also in fact claimed that he'd face persecution in India, but the court denied his plea. Now, Rana is a known associate of David Coleman Headley, a key 26/11 conspirator, and is also believed to have links to Pakistani terror group Lashkar-e-Taiba and the ISI. Meanwhile, in February, President Donald Trump and PM Modi announced that Rana would in fact face the justice in India. My colleague Divya, meanwhile, spoke with one of the 26/11 survivors. Listen in.
Let's just go across to Devika Rotwan, the survivor of the 26/11 attack. Thank you so much for talking to us here on NDTV. The day has finally come when the mastermind is on a plane. He's being brought back to India. How would you describe this moment? आप इस moment को कैसे describe कर पाएंगे?
जी मैम, इस मोमेंट को मैं बहुत खुशी से सुन रही हूँ कि इसे लाया जा रहा है भारत। तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, हमारी इंडिया की बहुत बड़ी जीत है। तो मैं यही चाहती हूँ कि उसे भारत लाया जाए और उसे सारी इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे देश को मिले कि आज भी पाकिस्तान में कितने आतंकवाद छुप के बैठे हैं और 26/11 के टाइम पे इन्होंने कैसे क्या प्लानिंग की थी और क्यों किया था, क्या मकसद था इनका पूरा, वो सभी शायद आज सामने आ सकती है बात पे।
बिल्कुल देविका, अगर आप हमारे साथ शेयर करेंगे जो ऑर्डील आप यू हैव बीन थ्रू पिछले 17 सालों में, इट मस्ट हैव बीन एक्सट्रीमली हार्ड टू पुट दोज स्कैरी मेमोरीज बिहाइंड एंड टू मूव ऑन. हैव दोज मेमोरीज बीन हॉन्टिंग यू for years altogether, and will this sort of bring about some sort of closure? Will it help you deal with the situation a lot better?
मैम, 26/11 को 16 साल हो गए, बट अभी तक वो यादें मेरे नजर से कभी भूली नहीं है और ना ही मैं उस बात को भूल सकती हूँ कभी, ना ही मैं भुला भी पाऊंगी मैम। और ये सारी न्यूज देखकर तभी एक बात ये होती है कि बस उससे जल्द से जल्द लाया जाए, या कोई भी आतंकवादी हो उसे सिर्फ सजा फांसी होनी चाहिए। आज भी पाकिस्तान में बैठ के आतंकवाद बढ़ावा दे रहे, क्या नहीं पता हमें कि 26/11 के बाद फिर से कोई हमला हो गया। आज भी कहीं ना कहीं ऐसा लगता है कि शायद फिर कोई आतंकवादी आ गया, फिर कुछ हो गया। तो अब तक कोई श्योरिटी तो नहीं है ना कि 26/11 के बाद की कभी कोई हमला ही नहीं हो सकता है।
आपको मानसिक तौर से जो ये मेमोरीज हैं जो आपके दिमाग से कभी जा नहीं सकेंगी, बट आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी को, गवर्नमेंट को कितना थैंक करना चाहेंगी कि फाइनली तहाव्वुर राना, द मास्टरमाइंड बिहाइंड द अटैक, वो फाइनली इंडिया लेके आ रहे हैं?
जी, मैं उन्हें बहुत धन्यवाद कहना चाहती हूँ कि वो ये सब कर रही है। बहुत बड़ी जीत है हमारी इंडिया के लिए और आतंकवाद का खत्म होना चालू हो चुका है अभी।
बिल्कुल देविका, ऑफ कोर्स हम बहुत थैंकफुल है गवर्नमेंट के लिए। इंडियन गवर्नमेंट भी नहीं, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स गवर्नमेंट का भी बहुत रोल रहा है इसमें। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने अश्योरेंस दी है कि उसकी वजह से ये केस अभी तक जो जहां पर पहुंचा है, तहाव्वुर राना एक फ्लाइट में है, वो इंडिया आने वाले हैं। आप किस सॉर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस की एक्सपेक्टेशन कर रहे हैं?
मैं जस्टिस यही चाहती हूँ कि मैम उसे फांसी की सजा हो और पाकिस्तान में जो आज भी बैठे हुए उन लोगों का चेहरा सामने आए जो आतंकवाद को पाल रहे और आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा दे रहे।
With the United States, 26% reciprocal tariffs on Indian goods have taken full effect Wednesday. Exporters of high-value cargo, including smartphones, engineering goods and automotive parts, were scrambling to ensure these goods are shipped out before the new rates are applied. Meanwhile, 104% duties on imports from China also took effect shortly after midnight, even as the administration of President Donald Trump moved to quickly start talks with other trading partners targeted by sweeping tariffs. Now, amid US President Donald Trump's tariff for Beijing has said that both India and China, the two largest developing countries, should stand together to overcome the difficulties. Listen in.
Our average tariff on agricultural goods is 5%, but India's average tariff is 39%. You understand the trend here. Our trade deficit, driven by these non-reciprocal conditions, is a manifestation of the loss of the nation's ability to make, to grow, to build.
US President Donald Trump on Tuesday claimed the country is collecting $2 billion per day from tariffs, but government data indicates that the actual figure is far lower. Yes, but Donald Trump has once again defended his aggressive trade policies, claiming that the US is now pouring in billions of dollars from newly implemented tariffs on foreign imports. Speaking from the East Room of the White House while signing a series of executive orders, another series of executive orders promoting the coal industry, Trump took time to address his sweeping tariffs on trading partners, which took effect on over 60 countries at the stroke of midnight on the 9th of April. In remarks delivered to a crowd of lawmakers, cabinet members, industry executives, and even coal miners, Trump described the impact of the tariffs as somewhat explosive, but insisted they were vital for his vision for revitalizing American industry. Here's what Trump said.
We're making a fortune with tariffs, $2 billion a day. Do you believe it? I was told $2 billion a day. You know, I get hit by the press about tariffs. We're making $2 billion. This isn't 35 million, that's peanuts. $2 billion a day. And then they say, gee, they don't know. You know, this is only the enemy can be talking this way. In addition, we have a lot of countries coming to see us that want to make a deal.
A horrific tragedy has struck the Dominican Republic, where at least 66 people have been killed after the roof of a popular nightclub, in fact, collapsed in Santo Domingo. The jet-set nightclub was packed for a concert by merengue star Robbie Perez when disaster struck around 1 a.m. local time. Among the dead is former Major League Baseball player Octavio Dotel, who died on the way to hospital. Also confirmed dead is Provincial Governor Nelsie Cruz, sister, in fact, of baseball star Nelson Cruz. Over 150 others have been injured, and hundreds of rescue workers are still searching the rubble for survivors. Meanwhile, President Abinader has expressed his condolences to the grieving families. In the US, 3 people were killed and 3 others injured in a mass shooting in Virginia on Tuesday evening. The incident occurred at a townhouse complex in Spotsylvania County, southwest of Washington, D.C. Police have said multiple agencies are assisting in the manhunt, but no arrests have been made so far. The injured, meanwhile, have been hospitalized, though their condition remains unknown. On the other hand, authorities have urged the public to avoid the area as investigations continue. Now, worryingly, this marks another grim chapter in America's ongoing gun violence crisis. Listen in.
At this point, we received a call, multiple calls at 5:30 p.m. from the area of Old Greenwich Circle, which is in Spotsylvania County, in reference to multiple shots that were fired. Upon deputies' arrival, they found multiple gunshot victims. 3 of the victims were confirmed deceased on scene. 3 other victims were transported to local hospitals. It is still a very fluid scene. Multiple investigators are still there trying to determine who the suspects were and what the motive is. At this point in time, I don't know that we have any suspects in custody. So we're asking the public to please stay clear of the area, let the investigators do their job, and stay inside their homes.
2 British teenagers have been found guilty of the manslaughter of 80-year-old Bhim Kohli, who was racially abused and attacked while walking his dog in a park near Leicester. The 15-year-old boy punched, kicked and slapped Kohli, breaking his neck and ribs. Meanwhile, a 13-year-old girl filmed the assault and could be heard laughing. The attack was described in court as senseless and gratuitous. Kohli died the next day in hospital. His family said they're devastated, in fact haunted by the video, and still struggling to cope with the loss. Meanwhile, the accused boy remains in custody. The girl is out on bail. Sentencing will take place on the 20th of May. Listen in.
Our home feels so empty without him and will never be the same. Every time my mum opens the front door, she thinks about what happened to her husband. Listening to the enormity of what happened, what Dad was subjected to, will never leave us. We feel angry and disgust towards the teenagers who took Dad away from us. They humiliated him. An 80-year-old man assaulted him, filmed it and laughed at him. Dad did not deserve this, and we wouldn't wish this on anyone else.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chaired a high-level India-UK investor roundtable in London, engaging with around 60 UK-based investors from pension funds to banks and even insurance firms. The Finance Minister, in fact, outlined New Delhi's policy priorities for long-term economic growth, highlighting reforms aimed at, in fact, reducing compliance burdens and also improving the ease of doing business. Now, Sitharaman also pitched India as a major destination for foreign investment in banking and insurance, with the country, in fact, projected to become the world's sixth largest insurance market by 2032. Sitharaman is in the UK for the 13th India-UK Economic and Financial Dialogue, where she will also hold bilateral talks with Chancellor Rachel Reeves. 3 Israeli hostages freed from Gaza joined US President Donald Trump on stage, in fact, at a Republican fundraising event in Washington. Now, the dinner hosted by the National Republican Congressional Committee comes as Israel's war in Gaza enters its 18th month. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, over 50,000 Palestinians have been killed in war so far. The war began with Hamas's October 7 attack that killed 1,200 people in Israel and took 251 others hostages. The militant group still holds 59 captives, with 24 believed to be alive. Now, Trump praised, in fact, the freed hostages and reiterated his support for Israel. Here's what he said.
And they said, well, of the 59, 24 are living, the rest are dead. I just heard that. And I was told that before by somebody else. But 24 are living, the rest are dead. These are young people, largely young people. Young people don't die. Young people are killed, they don't die. But the conditions were so horrible.
And the Panama Canal is back at the center of US-China tensions. US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has vowed to take back the century-old canal and push back against China's growing influence in the region. Speaking in Panama, Hegseth accused Beijing of threatening the canal's integrity and, in fact, using infrastructure to spy on the US. He said the US will not let a communist China weaponize the waterway. Meanwhile, Beijing has hit back sharply, denying any involvement in canal operations and accusing Washington of blackmailing and plundering. Now, the ports at both ends of the canal are operated by a Hong Kong-based firm whose parent company recently agreed to sell them to the US. Firm BlackRock, a move now under antitrust review in China. Panama, meanwhile, has started auditing the port operator and has already pulled out of China's Belt and Road project. Listen in to what Hegseth said.
And today, the Panama Canal faces ongoing threats. The United States of America will not allow communist China or any other country to threaten the canal's operation or integrity. To this end, the United States and Panama have done more in recent weeks to strengthen our defense and security cooperation than we have in decades. President Molino's decision to withdraw from the Belt and Road Initiative reflects his government's clear understanding of China and the threat it poses.
A sharp public clash has erupted between Elon Musk and US trade advisor Peter Navarro. Now, Musk, who leads the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, under President Trump, fired back after Navarro downplayed Tesla's manufacturing claims. In fact, in an interview, Navarro told Tesla assembles cars but doesn't make them. Now, Musk hit back on X, calling Navarro a moron and saying that his comments were demonstrably false. He cited data showing Tesla has the highest percentage of US-made parts. The White House, meanwhile, brushed off the feud, saying that the two have very different views and that boys will be boys. Meanwhile, concerns are growing among businesses and business leaders about Trump's tariffs, which Musk says could disrupt the US economy. And over in South Korea, opposition leader Lee Jae-myung has stepped down from his post, fueling further speculation about his bid for the presidency. Now, Lee, who narrowly lost the 2022 election, is currently leading in public opinion polls. South Korea, for perspective, heads to polls on the 3rd of June following the impeachment of former President Yoon Suk-yeol. While Lee hasn't officially announced his candidacy, his resignation is being seen as a major signal. Meanwhile, Labour Minister Kim Moon-soon has confirmed his entry into the presidential race as well. And in fact, he's vowed to boost US ties and push for Seoul's right to reprocess nuclear fuel. And with that, it's time we step into a short break. I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. You're watching The World Report. I'm Arjun Samar Mahendran. All to the world of business now. The FBI is investigating damage to a Tesla supercharger station in Washington's Lacey area. Now, the news comes after residents reported a loud noise, possibly an explosion, early Tuesday. The incident is in a latest of a series of anti-Tesla vandalism acts. Some are calling it domestic terrorism, while President Donald Trump is vowing punishment. Meanwhile, Musk's polarizing political views have drawn protests globally. Tesla's sales have also taken a hit, raising concerns among investors at this time as well. Sticking with Musk, Elon Musk's ex, formerly Twitter, has reached a deal to potentially drop Twitch from its lawsuit over an alleged boycott. Now, X sued Twitch and others last year, claiming that they conspired to withhold ad revenue. Now, a MOU has been signed. Twitch could be off the hook if certain conditions are met by year end. Meanwhile, X has already dropped Unilever from the case, but CVS, Pinterest, and Colgate remained named defendants. Brazil's telecom regulator Anatel, in fact, has approved 7,500 additional Starlink satellites to operate in the country. Now, this is more than doubling the 4,408 previously allowed. Elon Musk's SpaceX is also getting expanded frequency band access through its operational permit, still expires in 2027. Now, despite the green light, the regulator has warned that Brazil's space laws need updating to address digital sovereignty, market dominance, and even space sustainability. The company hasn't responded publicly yet. South Korea's Kia has scaled down its 2030 EV sales goal from a 1.6 million to 1.26 million units. The automaker is also targeting close to 1 million hybrid car sales by the same year. Now, Kia cited growing uncertainty over US policy on EVs as a key reason for the revision. The announcement comes as part of the company's presentation to investors, reflecting the shifting realities in the global auto markets. Meanwhile, Taiwan's Foxconn wants to work with Nissan on electric vehicles, though no talks are underway as yet. The company's EV strategy chief told Nikkei that partnering with Japanese automakers, especially Nissan, could give Foxconn an edge. The company is already close to sealing a deal with supply EVs to Mitsubishi and is reportedly also aiming for a broader four-way partnership with Nissan, Mitsubishi, and Honda. Foxconn, known for making iPhones and NVIDIA servers, wants to go big on EV manufacturing next. And Tom Cruise is returning to the Cannes Film Festival for the premiere of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The film will screen out of competition on the 14th of May, with Cruise and director Christopher McQuarrie attending. Now, this marks Cruise's third Cannes appearance. In the latest and final installment of the franchise, Cruise reprises his iconic role as Ethan Hunt, wrapping up one of Hollywood's most successful action series franchises to date. Jon Hamm, Amanda Peet, and Olivia Munn walked the red carpet in New York for the premiere of their new Apple TV Plus series, Your Friends and Neighbors. Hamm stars as a hedge fund manager who, in fact, turns to robbing his wealthy neighbors to keep up appearances. The cast also includes Mark Tolman. Apple has already greenlit a second season as well. Hollywood stars turned out in force for a night of serious fun in New York. A special fundraiser, in fact, celebrating what would have been Paul Newman's 100th birthday. Tom Hanks, Adam Driver, Paul Rudd, and others joined the event, which included performances and comedy sketches as well. The evening supported Serious Fun, a global network of camps and programs. Newman founded in 1988 for children with serious illnesses. Newman's daughter says the organization has now served 2 million children and families around the world. The San Diego Zoo has a new resident, an 8-year-old fishing cat named Miso Chi. He arrived, in fact, from the Denver Zoo and has already started exploring his new habitat. Known for their love of water, fishing cats are native to Southeast Asia and are listed as vulnerable. Experts have warned that over 50% of the region's wetlands are disappearing due to human activity, endangering species like the Miso Chi. Zoo officials describe him as smart, confident, and quick to adapt. Well, that's all we have for you today. Take care and have a wonderful day.